Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to make a simple, straightforward, yet extremely creamy, velvety homemade mac and cheese that is definitely going to be a family favorite. Okay, so in this little cup, I have 4 tablespoons of regular all-purpose flour. And to the flour, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of just regular table salt. And I'm going to add half a teaspoon of garlic powder. The garlic powder is optional, but it really gives it a really good flavor. And you just want to take a fork and combine those 3 ingredients. Just make sure they're nicely mixed together. There's no clumps of garlic powder or anything. And you're going to take this little bowl of flour and you're going to make a roux with it. And that's going to be the start of your mac and cheese. So get this well combined. And then in a pot, you're going to add 4 tablespoons of butter and you're going to start getting that melted. Once that's melted, we're going to start making the roux with the flour mixture. Okay, so the butter is nicely melted. So now we're going to take the flour, garlic powder, and salt mixture, and we're just going to put it in the butter. And we're just going to take our whisk and we're going to blend the butter, the flour, the salt, the garlic, and you just want to get everything well incorporated. And then once you have it mixed all together, you're going to want to let it cook for about a minute so that it can cook away that raw flour taste. And at this point, you want to have the burner on low because you don't want the butter or the flour to burn. And you definitely want to keep mixing it with the whisk as it cooks the flour because you don't want anything to stick, you don't want anything to burn. And once you start to see that nice light caramel color, then you're ready for the next step. And the next step is you're going to take your 2 1/4 cups of milk and you're going to add it right to the roux. And now you could turn up the burner to a medium at this point, and you're just going to stir the milk in. And you want to make sure you get any lumps of flour well incorporated. You don't want any clumpy, lumpy sauce. You want a nice, velvety, smooth sauce. So just make sure that you mix it really well, whisk out any of those lumps in the flour. And once you're done with that, the next step, you're going to add half a cup of sour cream, or you can use Greek yogurt if you want. I've done it with both, and they both turn out really great. But this is half a cup of sour cream. And now you're just going to whisk the sour cream into the milk, and you want to make sure that you get rid of all the lumps of sour cream. And at this point, you could turn the burner up to a medium because once you get the lumps of sour cream out and everything is well whisked together and incorporated, you want to bring this up to a simmer, and you want it to simmer for 5 minutes. And you're going to start to see the sauce thicken up. And I would keep whisking it once in a while, just so that nothing sticks to the bottom, but don't let it come to a boil. If you're having trouble getting rid of the lumps because the whisk is not all the way submerged in the milk, then sometimes I just tilt the pot over so that the whisk can get entirely submerged, and then just give it a nice big whisk. Just, whisk it pretty fast and vigorously, and that should do the trick. And that's it. Let it come to a simmer, stir once in a while to keep it from sticking, and you will have the beginnings of a wonderful mac and cheese. Okay, this is finally incorporated, so I'm just going to let this sit here and simmer for 5 minutes, and I'll just give it a stir every once in a while. Okay, so now if you get a spoon, you can see how this has thickened up. And so now you're going to put the burner on low because now you're going to add the 4 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. If you want to mix up different cheeses, you can, but my kids, they like just regular cheddar. This is not sharp or anything. It's just regular cheddar. And I have 4 cups of cheddar. And you're just going to put this into the milk and you're going to have it on low, and you're just going to start stirring it until all the cheese is melted and well incorporated, and you're going to have a silky, creamy, super indulgent mac and cheese. I made this as a side dish for Thanksgiving at the request of my daughter, who begged me to make the homemade mac and cheese. It's going to take about 5 minutes, and you can turn the burner up to a medium low. but it's going to take about 5 minutes to get the cheese melted and incorporated because you don't want any chunks of cheese or lumps. And you don't want to put it on too high to speed up the process because you don't want it to burn or stick to the pan. You want to end up with a silky, velvety, super creamy, luscious cheese sauce that you're going to pour the boiled pasta into. And just a little bit of a tip, I have noticed, because I've made it with both, that the pre-shredded bags of cheese do not melt as nicely and smoothly as the blocks of cheese that you grate yourself on like a box grater. So just a little something to think about when you're making this. Because the pre-shredded cheese has some kind of like anti-caking agent, like a coating on it, so that the shreds don't stick together. And I've done it with the shreds just for convenience at times. But if you can get the block and grate it yourself, you will have a much easier and smoother sauce. And voila, it's 5 minutes later, and you have this super creamy, yummy, velvety sauce, and it's ready for the macaroni, the final step. I had a big pot of water boiling on the other burner with the macaroni, and I boiled a big pot. I used shells. A lot of people do elbows, but I love shelled macaroni for mac and cheese because the sauce goes into the shell and you have these nice little cups of creamy, velvety sauce. So good. But you can do the elbows and they will come out just fine. So just pour all that cheesy, velvety, silky, smooth, delicious sauce into the macaroni and give it a nice big stir and serve. This is best served as soon as you're done cooking it because it'll be creamy and silky and smooth and luscious. But if you take it to go, which I did, I took it for Thanksgiving, then the sauce is obviously going to thicken, and you can always reheat it and loosen it with a little bit of milk on low on the stove. But if not, you will just have a thicker mac and cheese, but the taste will be delicious, whether it's served immediately or reheated or just warmed up slightly and served hours later like we served it. And that's it. That's how you make simple homemade mac and cheese that is luscious, velvety, creamy, indulgent, something for the holidays. Treat yourself, ultimate comfort food. Thanks for watching. I hope I inspired you to try to make homemade mac and cheese and that you love it as much as we do. Thanks for watching. Bye.